story for you about a girl who met this guy that was condemned by society because of his emotional outrages and lack of compassion. He hurt her, he manipulated her, he forced her to do only what he wanted of her, he put her in danger, but then he saved her. So she forgives him, they fall in love, happily ever. Not quite. See, if we had the chance, we'd probably tell her to run as far away as possible from this toxic man. But what if I told you that her name is Belle and the man is Beast? Well, then that makes it different, right? Maybe, because he suddenly became an awesome guy and they were perfect for each other. But just like how teacups don't turn into cute boys and candles don't sing, miracles like this simply don't happen in real life. Good evening, everyone. My name is Makornwattana, and today I'm here to talk about how toxic relationships and behaviors are tolerated and prevail in our society. Overlooked, ever-present, normalized. Our society glorifies toxic relationships through movies, media, and what is labeled romantic. Let's take a look, for example, at one of Hollywood's ultimate love stories, the story of Ali and Noah, The Notebook. I'd have to admit that I, too, thought The Notebook was the story of my dreams, but let's truly analyze what happened here. Noah wrote Ali 365 letters, one letter for each day for a year after she left him. Now, it may seem as if he loved her so dearly and couldn't be without her, but the truth is, he was being obsessive and not respecting her boundaries. And there's the volatility, with them going from slapping to kissing. And there's manipulation, with Noah threatening to commit suicide. And there's physical abuse, with Ali punching and pushing him in arguments. These glorifications make us find excuses for toxic behaviors and tolerate them, sometimes even making it something desired. But I understand what it was like to be in an unhealthy relationship and how that affected my emotional health and well-being. And trust me when I say there's nothing glorious about it. But I'm not here to share my personal stories. I'm here to talk about how I identify the signs of a toxic relationship and how you can too. According to leadership coach Lolly Daskell, signs of a toxic relationship include feeling like you need to change to please the other person, feeling like you can't do anything right and like you aren't enough, feeling like you need to save or fix them, or like there's some sort of constant uncertainty about what they're going to do next. But at the same time, it's not always that extreme. See, there are also subtle and typical toxic behaviors that are found commonly in almost all kinds of relationships. In fact, there are behaviors that everyone in this room is guilty of. So, how do we identify them? According to clinical psychologist Samantha Rodman, these toxic behaviors include constant blaming, passive aggression, hypercriticism, constant negativity, judgment, manipulation, threats, inconsistency, and gaslighting. Now, take a moment to truly reflect on your own actions, because there might be a toxic behavior that's never even crossed your mind. Because I know it took me a while to identify these behaviors within myself and work on them. But why is all this important anyway? Well, other than the emotional consequences of toxic relationships, studies summarized by Keck Medicine of USC show that there are physical effects too. In fact, toxic relationships can increase your heart problems and compromise your immune system, with your body always being in a fight or flight mode. And now that we understand all this, we might think we never find ourselves in the extreme range, experiencing manipulation, threats, and abuse. But it's actually more common than you might think. 1 of 3 people will experience an unhealthy relationship in their lifetime. So if not the 2 people next to you, then you. 1 of 3. That's how common it is. And I may only be 17, but I'm one of those 3. And it might just be people like me, an overanalyzing, overthinking, hypersensitive, but fairly logical teenager who just might know the situation very well. See, I've been at a place where I've distanced myself from my family, friends, and goals. But after choosing to identify my toxic behaviors and recognizing that I was in an unhealthy relationship, I've since managed to discover my flaws and my strengths and embrace both. So, how can we work towards that for everyone? Well, it's simple, really. If you identify with any of the toxic behaviors, just notice them and work on them. But if you find yourself in a toxic relationship, MT Kristen Fuller suggests healing by maintaining a good support group, being open about your experiences. Don't feel shameful, and avoid self-blame, because it's not your fault. And if you're helping someone heal from a toxic relationship, make sure to always meet their doubts with confidence. Be there to support and understand them. Give them time to heal and help them learn to trust again. And trust me, healing is important. I promise it's important. Because without having found the strength and support to be vulnerable, I would have been trapped in a place that's impossible for the self-love and growth I've managed to seek. We need to help individuals heal and foster healthy behaviors such as communication, trust, support, respect, honesty, and individuality. Because it's the kind of relationship that helps us become the best version of ourselves. It's the kind that empowers us to embrace our full potential, empowers us to make change, empowerment that leads to the radiation of positive energy, and in essence, creates a greater sense of humanity in which we all can thrive. And hopefully now, after we identify our toxic behaviors and help each other foster healthy relationships, we'll all be able to find our true and healthy, happy ever after. Thank you. Thank you.